Hey everyone, it's Lindsay from Just the Worsted, and I'm going to show you how to make a daisy granny square. So first we need to make a magic loop. This can be a little tricky. So take 3 fingers and bring your yarn over like this. Take the other part of your yarn and bring it around to make an X. Okay, here we go. Now take your hook, put it under this first part. Okay, then wrap your hook around both sides like that. It's gonna feel a little funky. Immediately grab your yarn like this and chain 3. It's going to feel weird, don't worry. This counts as a chain 2, or as a double crochet, sorry, as a double crochet in your square. So now we need to put 12 double crochets into the rest of the magic loop. To do that, we need to yarn over, insert into the loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 more loops. Okay, now our magic loop should be pretty secure, so you can just pull that through. Okay, so since the chain 3 counts as a double crochet, you're going to place a total of 12 double crochets in this magic loop. And when you're finished, we can meet up for the next part. Okay, so here we are. We finished making 11 total double crochets, including this first chain 3. So now to finish off, you're going to slip stitch into the top of your chain 3. Okay, now we've made it to round 2, so we're going to be working petals into the double crochets from the previous rounds. So you can join anywhere. I will join here. Okay, now chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to be working a stitch called the double crochet, or 2 double crochet bobble. So we're going to be making a double crochet but not finishing it until the very end. So let's yarn over, insert hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Let's do that once more. Now we have 3 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through all the loops. That's our first petal, chain 2. Okay, so the double crochet, or the chain 3 in the first part, it's counted as a double crochet, so now we have to do 3 double crochet bobbles. So let's do it. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Do that 2 more times. 1, 2. Now we have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. Great. Then you're going to chain 2. You're going to repeat this all the way around. You're going to repeat the 3 double crochet bobble all the way around. And when you have finished your last bobble and your chain 2, we can meet. Okay, here we are. We finished our round 2. You should have 12 petals, just like the 12 double crochets from round 1. So now we need to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet, 2 double crochet bobble. So not these, but the first stitch. And make sure you do not forget that last chain 2 there. Okay, now fasten off. I should get better scissors, but oh well. Okay, now bring back your main color. So my main color is this really pretty green. Let me bring back my main color. Okay, and we are going to make a slip knot on our hook. Okay. And we are now going to shape the actual square. So again, you can join in any corner that you like. I will join right here. Well, don't worry about these bumps because later you can just pull the yarn really tight and sew it right in and you can't see it. Okay, so join in the corner and chain 3. That counts as your double crochet. Now we are going to make a corner immediately, so move your chain 3 over so there's space. Okay. I like to call these granny clusters. So to make a granny cluster, we need 3 double crochets in the same space. So So place 2 double crochets here to complete your first granny cluster. Okay, then chain 2 to make the corner. And place 3 double crochets in the same spot. Okay, here's our corner. Now we're going to place 1 granny cluster in the next 2 spaces. So remember, granny cluster is just 3 double crochets together. If this is too fast, you can pause the video and always check on in. Okay, great. You can see it's starting to form. So now we need our next corner. So we do granny cluster, chain 2, granny cluster in this corner. So here's my granny cluster. Chain 2 and granny cluster. Okay, here's our first side. Now we need to place a granny cluster, or 1 granny cluster in the next 2 stitches. Ooh, lost my yarn there. Great. So you can guess what comes next. That is the corner. So 1 granny cluster, chain 2, 1 granny cluster. Great. Now we have 3 corners, right? So we're almost there. Now we need to place 1 granny cluster in the next 2 stitches. Okay, there you go. And by the way, I'm using King Cole cotton top yarn. It's a mix between cotton and acrylic, and it's really soft and nice. I'm a big fan, and it also has these like little white cotton stripes in them, so it kind of gives it a cool textured look. Okay, so now we have 3 corners. This is our last corner that we need. So let's make a corner here. So granny cluster, chain 2, granny cluster. Yikes. Alright, now you need to place 1 granny cluster in the next 2 stitches, and we have made our first row. Great. You can just move that little tail back. Okay, now we are finished with round 3. So we need to chain or slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. Fantastic. If you want, you can keep your granny square this size. This would be like a mini one, but you can go one step further. I will show you how, without turning, how to continue over. So if you want your double crochets to all be on the same side, it's very simple. Just slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets to move your yarn over, then slip stitch into the corner. There, and now you can work a corner into each corner space and then a granny cluster into each space between there. And you now know how to make your daisy granny square. Enjoy!